On to my Sagittarius. So you have the Hermit, Seven of Swords, Ace of Swords. Then you have the Eight of Swords, the World, Queen of Pentacles, Seven of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune. So obviously, Hermit, the Hermit, the Seven of Swords, the Ace of Swords, Eight of Swords, the Lovers. Wow. I'm seeing how a lot of you Sagittarius, wow. The Hermit and the Seven of Swords is that a lot of you Sagittarius have made the discovery that, how do I say this? You're able to understand when someone, you're able to understand people's intentions a lot better now. You have a new level of awareness to understand when someone doesn't necessarily mean you the best. So a lot of you Sagittarius aren't necessarily going to be paranoid, but you Sagittarius will most definitely be aware of when someone is definitely working with some form of ulterior motive. The Ace of Swords now represents, and you're going to lay down your, okay, that's what's up. You're going to lay down your sword, but the sword is still there just in case. And that if there's ever a situation where, and what I mean when I say lay down your sword, I mean you Sagittarius are not going to be so quick to judge. You're not going to be so quick to be combative. A lot of you Sagittarius are learning to actually give a relationship a try, a healthy try. But a lot of you Sagittarius also are starting to understand that there is a necessity for the sword, right? There is a necessity for your defense. Don't throw your defenses away, lower your defenses. Because you never know who's goofy, who's dysfunctional, and who's not, right? Who's giving you a real offer. The Eight of Swords and the Lovers now represent. So as a result, this is a situation where a lot of you need to understand now that, because, how do I say this? The Eight of Swords, because before, the tough stuff, being tough wasn't really helping you out. And a lot of you Sagittarius really started to realize that, it just would give problems. It would just create issues because it's this idea of keeping people out, freezing people, not really, keeping people at a certain distance. And all of that is cool when it comes to keeping people at a distance who don't mean you any good. But when it came to people who actually cared about you, that was the situation. This is where this is what the situation was. And then you had the Lovers. The Lovers was, it caused you to not necessarily be able to look in the mirror because you knew who really had your back. Your friends, your family. When we talk about love, we're not just talking about romantic relationships. We're also talking about friends and family, just in general, right? The people who are closest to you, your co-workers, the people that you see almost every single day at your job, that you kind of create a pseudo team with, right? And the things that the Lovers represents, a lot of you Sagittarius was just kind of like, you found it hard to be able to trust people, right? You were making it difficult on yourself to actually look at yourself in the mirror and trust even yourself at one point. And a lot of you Sagittarius had to wake up and realize that, again, you can relax because, how do I say this? There's no need to hold up the sword and hold it in a defensive position or hold it in an offensive position, right? There's definitely where you need to lay it down, put the sword down, but the sword is still there just in case if you actually need to pick back up, obviously, right? There is always a need for self-defense, but there's no need for excess. There's no need for, you to just be combative and, rough and tough for no exact reason. Like I'm saying, to some of you Sagittarius who don't want to listen, again, you can do whatever it is that you want to at the end of the day. But if things are difficult for you, no comment. But the Queen of Pentacles now represents, and a lot of you are able to let you're able to relax. You're able to actually be able to relax and understand that, things aren't as bad as you once thought that they were, and that they actually are. A lot of the things really are a state of mind. Right, exactly. The Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is if someone is coming in trying to intrude, and when I say intrude, I mean if someone is coming in trying to steal from you, take off of your table, try to ruin your internal happiness, you Sagittarius don't have to be so combative. You can just stop talking to them, Again, simple solutions for simple problems. A lot of people, Sagittarius, a lot of people don't really understand that their problems can be answered with simple solutions. Simple things that a person, anyone can do that can solve their problems. But they make it into a big mountain. They make it into this huge thing. And that's what a lot of you Sagittarius are starting. Some of you are starting to open up your eyes and realize that, like you have, I've said this before, you have options. There's always an option. It's just that the whole objective of playing games is to try to convince you that there is no option. And this is where we get when people start to play into the hands of the person who's running the games, because now you start trying to play the game along with the person, and this is where things end up going wrong, right? For the person who's falling into the pitfall, the trap of it. Because if a person decides to wild out and they are not showing you any kind of relationship traits, then you don't talk to them anymore, right? It's as simple as that, right? It's simplistic. It's as straightforward as that. If they don't show up with some form of decency and enthusiasm, and an effort to try to date you, you can just stop talking to them. It's not that big of a deal, So the thing is that the Ten of Pentacles now, so the Ten of Pentacles is about how a lot of you, so this means that a lot of you Sagittarius need to understand that you're in a time right now, Ten of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune. So let's break it down one by one. So the Ten of Pentacles is about how a lot of you Sagittarius, you have so much to eat. You're at a time right now where you have so much. It's so plentiful at your table. If only if you woke up and you realized this. Same, like I said before, I was at a position in my life where, like I said, 2019, when I really started to realize a lot of these people who treated me like I was trash, did this, did that, did the other, all this type of stuff. And a Gemini video is coming up after this batch. But did this, did that, did the other. I realized one thing. I realized that after looking at it, the stuff that people would say, trash, the gobbledygook that people say, none of that stuff is real. All of these projections, oh, I do this, do that. None of that stuff is real. So the thing about it is that the Ten of Pentacles, it represents the hardiness. It represents the sense of fulfillment, the idea that you Sagittarius do not have, see, when you know better and you start practicing better, you're not playing into anyone else's game except for your own game. You're on your own time. You're on your own game. You're not playing other people's games. You're not playing other people's mind games to get you deluded and to get you to go back and forth and give these people attention because they want attention from you that bad and they're trying to trick you out of it. When you realize you're running on your own time, playing your own game, then a lot of you Sagittarius will understand that you always do have options. Just because, from the sake of it, you have options. Again, going back to the Seven of Wands, if you and a person doesn't gel well, all you need to do is stop talking to them. What is this fuss about you need to get back at the person? That's a person who's, if you, because you know why? Because if you Sagittarius adopted that mentality, you Sagittarius would be just as caught up in the game as this person was. It's just that they have a little bit more of an advantage because you don't see things from a bigger picture in that perspective, from that vantage point. The idea that you can't see that this person, whether or not this person is trying to get your attention, is irrelevant. Who says that you have to go after behind them and try to talk to them again? You're talking to them again. You're reaching out to them again. You're trying to say what up to them. So you don't even have to do any of that. When somebody plays stupid with you, just stop rocking with them. It's the same thing that I do. Whenever it is that I detect that somebody is trying to run game, guess what it is that I do? I don't talk to them. I tell them, listen, sometimes I may tell them it's a dub. Sometimes I may just completely leave. I don't have to play their games, and I don't. So why should you, Sagittarius, have to do that, especially if you don't have to? And see sometimes, because I know a lot of Sagittarius, sometimes Sagittarius, y'all can get caught up with the mentality of, well, I can't let this person get away with. That's also playing into their game. See, this is what I'm talking about. Why it is that I say that the ego is very clever, because you got to get to a point, if you can understand what I'm saying, you Sagittarius got to get to the point where you stop caring about the goofiness. You stop caring so much about the obvious grasping for straws, the assumptions that people make. They're unable to stimulate your mind and actually do anything fun. So guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna try to get your attention by trying to bother you and aggravate you and get on your nerves. You got to get to a point where that doesn't even bother you. You got to get to a point where you're just like, listen, I don't care. You look, you take a glance just to make sure you're not missing anything, because you still want to be aware of your surroundings. But you go right back to minding your business, because you keep your eyes on the prize. You know what's important to you. And for you, Sagittarius, what should be important to you is your own freedom, your ability, your newfound sense of getting to know yourself, a new introduction to who you are compared to who you were. All of that is what you need to double down and triple down and invest more into. Who are you, Sagittarius? Who are y'all? Because secretly, on some real stuff, esoterically, Sagittarius is a zodiac sign. If you've ever seen the movie The Roommate, or The Invasion of the Body Snatchers, or something like The Faculty, and it's so funny because Sagittarius actually rules education. But if you've ever seen the movie The Faculty in the 90s with Usher and all these people, right? The Faculty is about what? The invasion of body-snatching aliens. And that's what Sagittarius can be when Sagittarius is in their lower nature. You can want to become somebody else instead of just being who you are. And a lot of you Sagittarius need to understand, Three of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, you good finding out who you are. You don't need to be a Virgo or an Aries or whomever. You don't need to be anybody else but yourselves. You don't. I like anime. I like Japanese art. I like a kimono. I like, Bleach, the anime with Ichigo, and stuff like this. I like stuff like that, and I'm not worried about if another person finds it to be weird, because I know for a fact that everybody watches anime at one point in their life. That's why it is that some of the people, they dye their hair blonde, they dye their hair purple. Where did y'all think all these colors came from? It's because they watch anime. That whole concept of blue hair, green hair, purple hair, that's anime colors. Remember Yu-Gi-Oh from the show? Yu-Gi-Oh had black hair, but with blonde streaks, all of that, and red streaks, right? That's anime stuff. How many anime characters you seen with blue hair, and nobody realizes that's not normal for a person to have blue hair. All this stuff is anime references anyway. So the way that I see it, the whole world is from my perspective. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the power in it. That's what the Wheel of Fortune is trying to show you, that you need to get out of other people's wheels, because you're just another one of these individuals on this wheel that they ultimately control, and get off of another person's wheel and get on your own. So let's clarify some of these cards. Let's clarify the Ten of Pentacles, the Six of Wands, Five of Swords, High Priestess, the Sun. Right. To clarify the Ten of Pentacles. So the Six of Wands and the Five of Swords is, this represents the difficulties, the lies, and the tactics that people try to use on you, and how it is that they came from a place of the High Priestess. They needed to try to find a way to get you to stay and give them attention. And when it didn't work, or when they thought it would work, that's what it is that they tried to do. But now the Sun, it's not working anymore, because your awareness is now shifted. You realize that trying to get back at a person, or trying to, you can't let this person get away with this. You realize that it on itself is a big trick. It's a big con. That's in on itself isn't even the thing to do. So let's clarify the Three of Pentacles. Hope y'all are enjoying this, by the way, because I'm really telling y'all the real deal. Like I said, for the people who ain't learning, for the people who hard-headed, the people who, all right, but hard head gonna make a soft butt, because I'm teaching you how life really works. They say that Virgo is the keeper of secrets. I'm a Virgo, so I'm teaching y'all the secrets of how life really works. I am. But then you have to clarify the Three of Pentacles, you have the Ace of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, the King of Cups, and then you have the King of Wands. So again, the Three of Pentacles just represents how people are always going to have something to say about you. The Eight of Pentacles and the King of Cups, you just need to manage your emotions and focus on what it is that you need to do. The King of Wands, doesn't matter who it is, doesn't matter how much nonsense they talk. As long as it's nonsense, who cares? Most people are afraid to get in a confrontation. Most people throw rocks and hide their hands. Who cares, Sagittarius? So that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. You Sagittarius are getting to a point of conviction. You Sagittarius are getting to a point of real self-confidence, real self-belief, real understanding that, real wisdom to the, for real. Where a lot of y'all, and I'm proud of y'all, a lot of y'all are really understanding that people can say whatever, people can talk whatever, people can say whatever. People try to slander you. This is everyone gets slander. The other day, Michael B. Jordan had some interview with somebody where the person was talking trash about them, used to call them corny. And Michael B. Jordan was like, yeah, I still remember the time when you used to call me corny with no justification, for no real good reason. And then the person had to try to backpedal all those years and try to recant it and be like, oh, nah, people can say whatever. It's all doo-doo anyway. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. I'm trying to make my YouTube channel grow to 10,000 subscribers. Right now, I have 6,344 subscribers. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set that notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos.